Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to some Misfits Racing League action. It is round 6. Round 5. Don't let me get my ahead of myself. Of course, next round will be very interesting, but we'll get to that in a second. Round 5, United States Grand Prix. Joining me to make it an all-Canadian cast this evening, Mr. Gazieg. Welcome to the broadcast.
Hello, Striff. And I think this has been long overdue since I joined you up here.
Yeah, you've been commentating a few different races, and now you and I finally get to jump into the booth together. And what a race we have coming ahead of us, of course, for round 5. Here around the Circuit of the Americas, the United States.
Our neighbor.
Well, our neighbor, that's right. We're Canadian. So we're going down to the south, and we're going to see some racing. Next week, we go to Monaco for round 6. Following that, we head to Portugal, Azerbaijan. Then we come home, Kazi. We go to Canada. Following that, we go to the UK.
I know you'll do well in.
A race that I hope I do very well in. And I'm just being told by Mr. Henners to give you a little bit of an increase on the volume there, so hopefully everyone...
I'll try to speak a bit louder as well.
My turn. Good. Thank you very much to Henry for heads up. We go to Austria, France, of course, as well, and then we move through to the third leg of the tour into Belgium, the Netherlands. Go to China as well as Japan, Abu Dhabi, and Brazil. We'll just have to see what things lie ahead as we look at our Tier 1 America standings. Things very intense on this grid as we have both Mercedes at the top end of the standings tower. Rhapsody 56 points, his teammate Maxim B right behind him sitting at 48, just 3 points ahead of the defending two-time champion Mr. Becky B for Williams. Now, notably Mercedes, given they are running 1 and 2 in the standings right now, they have a decent sized gap ahead of Williams in the Constructors' Championship, which is going to really apply some pressure to Johnny Disco in assistance to, of course, Becky B. Now, with that said, we have Graz there in 4th and Gabizim rounding out the top 5. And we'll go down through the rest of who is really going to put themselves into some points once we jump into this qualifying in just a few moments' time, as I do believe we do have pretty well all of our racers in and ready to go, but of course
we're still missing one.
Oh, alrighty then. Well, I'll take us through the rest of the standings. We have Gabix G, 24 points there. Casquito Benitez behind him in 7th. Disco in 17th, of course, 8th position with 17 points. And then we have Guac in 9th, 14 points to his name. Sales in 10th. Bomateo in 11th, Martin Sanchez in 12th, Victor Diaz 13th position, Visha 14th with Jamie Lawrence and Carmelison behind him 15th and 16th respectively. There you go, Main Chief, Double OT and Sidewinder 303, scoreless thus far in the campaign for Season 6. We'll see how they can do here, round number 5. Very interesting circuit, Coda. 20 turns of action here around Coda. Of course, the 2 DRS zones, one into turn 1 and one down the long stretch into turn 12. What a circuit. And a circuit I'm familiar. Well, I should say it's not a circuit I'm fond of. I'm familiar with it, not fond of it. And,
but it is a fun circuit.
Well, definitely fun if you like it.
No, I think it's fun going up through the S's and the elevation, especially the downhill corner before turn 11, before the long straight. It can be fun, and it's very fun to overtake around here. You get a lot of speed on that back straight, and the DRS is... Oh, we lost someone.
We lost a couple of racers in our lobby. We're doing what we can, of course, to get everybody in, and hopefully we can get our things started in just a few moments.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, one of the drivers we were missing is just joined. So I think we'll be getting ready to go soon. So this is the last race of the week, Striff, at the USA Circuit in Emerald.
That's right. We've had 4 previous races. Of course, America's Tier 1 last night, if you're joining us from the America side. And then we had Tier 1 earlier on today, as well as Tiers 2 and 3 earlier in the week, Monday and Tuesday. Apparently we're having some not viewers necessarily, drivers, Steam issues.
I think it's been sorted now, Striff. Everyone is in the lobby. I think we will be getting to go very soon.
Fantastic. Big prediction going on in the chat. A major prize to be won for those who back Johnny Disco for a back-to-back pole.
I really want to see the Williams boys improve because they need to get back to where Mercedes is. It's going to be a tough fight between the Mercedes and Williams teams in this tier.
As things stand, Johnny Disco 2 pole positions this season, and it's Rhapsody on the other end of that battle with another 2 pole positions. And we come into the 5th round. Who out of the pair will take the lead, or will it be a new challenger taking that pole
Cody
position?
From the Pirates. Could be Mikau. He's very quick.
Mikau joining us in reserve this evening.
It could be a surprise driver also. Anything could happen, really. And it looks dry and sunny today.
Well, this is very, very good for the racers to come into qualifying and not necessarily have anything difficult to contend with in the form of wet conditions.
Yep, they don't want to deal with all those variables. It's just simple. Who can set the fastest lap now? No conditions to worry about.
Kazi, why don't you do us the honors and take us through who's racing with us on the grid in America's Tier 1 today?
We have Maxime in the Mercedes, followed by Gavizum, Dago, a new driver who DNF'd last week. Wadapikowski, who is joining us as a new driver as well. Victor Diaz, everyone knows Becky B. And Jamie Lawrence in the Haas. Sales, Meaty, Martin Sanchez in the McLaren. Jacob and Maxime's teammate Rhapsody. And then we have Sidewinder and Cody Lawrence in the Red Bull pair. Followed by Johnny Disco, Graz the other Ferrari, Mikau and AlphaTauri, Guac, and Gabox, and followed by Bomateo last. And that is the grid.
Thank you, Ghazi, and of course, welcome to all of the racers joining us. New on the grid. First racer out is Meaty, as he extends just barely, and that's his track map red, but of course it is the outlap.
That's very common around this track still, a lot of red tracks. It's very easy to go wide here and cut the corners.
20 turns here around the circuit of the Americas. Austin, Texas is where
With
the
lots
race
of
is held.
runoff. Yes.
Two drivers.
Some drivers, I was gonna say, some drivers are opting for the medium tires for their first runs. Maxime, Gabizon.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Ghazi. Meaty.
I read your mind.
Launching his first attempt here. Might have ran a little bit wide there on exit, and he didn't, so he will have a clear run ahead of him. Coming into turn 1 now, breaking things down all the way to second gear, touching that inside curbing, and now we push through the intricate first sector that is the S's, as he actually extends over the curbing very early into this run. However,
The track has gotten red.
yeah, he's most definitely invalidated. However, keeping things, I think, still pushing here. Maybe just to get a gauge of where he stands on pace at the very least.
Who's next behind him? Aston Martin. Letting Meaty by on that lap. Rhapsody is going quick.
We'll jump to our championship leader in the Mercedes, who is on a valid run in the qualifying session. As we are very early into the session here, we can see currently on the timing tower we have a yellow flag through sectors 1 and 2. That was the McLaren of, I do believe, Martin Sanchez. Back to Rhapsody. 14 minutes left in the session. It's coming through turn.
Rhapsody's gonna set the first time of this session, unless he evaluates at this last corner. So 130. That's a very good lap. It's a very good banker lap.
Solid run there coming out of Rhapsody. The Haas on debut on the medium compound tires, second to set a time here tonight, 32.941. Sales on the board in the Ferrari, 33.178. He's done that on the mediums as well. Maxim B, the other Mercedes, who is currently second in the standings, jumps into provisional second on the timing tower with a 32.870. He has also done this with the mediums, as a variety of other drivers come through now to push times. Graz, 31.923 on the softs. GabXG is in as well with the softs, 32.233. Mikau says hello.
Yeah, Mikau throws his AlphaTauri onto the front row provisionally.
Very solid push coming out of the AlphaTauri. Mikau,
Got his
the
own
Australian.
The McLaren. Let's see what he can do. Oh, he abandoned that lap, I guess.
Jacob in the Aston Martin with an issue in Sector 3. His teammate could potentially be flying. Jacob on the way into the pit lane.
Yep. Looks like Mateo is preparing for a lap. Or he messed up his lap.
A big snap there. Could very well be struggling here. And it looks like he's going to be crossing the line to set a time.
The banker time. You don't want to start last.
Oops, that of Gabism into 8th position, as there's quite a few racers yet to set times.
They're just waiting for the opportune time.
Martin Sanchez on an invalidated run, and it would appear Cody Lawrence is chaining practice runs on this set of soft compound tires.
That's what he usually does. Some cars on out laps right now. Gabby Zim just went 132.8 after coming around a second time.
Getting multiple laps onto that set of mediums. Bo Mateo did the same. Meaty, yet to set a time, is on the move, Ghazi.
The mediums are a bit stronger than those soft tires. You know, it's okay to do 2 laps on them, I think. Victor Diaz is on a lap right now.
Meaty
Both up.
Yeah, Meaty ahead of him. Victor Diaz.
Both Alpines
second.
pushing.
Very tight to the curb for Meaty.
Last week we saw a very action-packed lap 1. Do you think it's going to repeat again this week?
Absolutely.
This track has even more corners that you can go side by side at, so it might be the same.
This specific section of circuit that we have just seen Meaty flow through in Sector 3 really provides a lot of wheel-to-wheel switchback opportunities, and we'll have to see how these drivers cope with these scenarios that will unfold.
There will be lots of wheel-to-wheel racing. We saw it in Tier 1 earlier today. We saw cars going side by side through the entire last sector.
Meaty running third now, 31.781 in the
That's a
Alpine.
very good lap from him. Let's see what his teammate can do. About to cross the line. Puts his car P6 with a 132.3. Dago coming through the last sector.
Rhapsody has also just begun.
Both Red Bulls are about to cross the line again. Sidewinder for his first lap completed. I know he's boxing.
Riding with Dago. Guac invalidated that run. He'll start another one. And the other Alfa Romeo, here comes Dago, looking for his first time. It's third.
That's good. Yeah, that's a good lap from him. Just 2/10 off Macau. That just shows how strong Rhapsody and Macau's Baker laps were stripped. They were done like 8 minutes ago, and they're like still fast on the laps done now with the track evolution.
Definitely. Definitely. Rhapsody, 31.159. Thought he was on a flyer. He definitely was not. There's something going on, it would appear, between the Williams drivers as well as the Mercedes. As it's Becky B, Rhapsody, then Johnny Disco on circuit right now. I don't know if something occurred. Rhapsody was slow on the straight. Johnny Disco is trying to give himself some space at the moment to get a run in. Becky B is going to start a lap.
These drivers need to get in the top 5, all 4 of them. There's a fierce battle between these two teams.
Well, absolutely. And right now, it's Mercedes with the upper hand. They have both drivers, 1 and 2, with a solid lead right now over the Williams team. Jacob,
Yeah, but Williams, he can't count
31.9
out.
into 5th.
We've seen for many seasons Becky be the reigning 2-time champion of this tier.
Maxim
joins
B.
it. Yeah. He puts a Mercedes front row lockout for now. Oh, and never mind. Wada breaks up, putting his car P2 with a 131.2. 1/10 faster than Maxim.
Half a tenth off of the provisional pole sitter in Rhapsody. We're on with Becky B right now, who's just ahead of Rhapsody. Not clear if Rhapsody is on a valid flyer or not. Becky B is
Macau
holding
is
things
on a
valid.
flyer behind him.
Everybody looking to get in some good times here. As
Yeah, you want to
clock
settle up
ticks
now
down.
before you go out into the pits and get ready for your final run.
For the final turn.
Macau invalidated.
Becky,
Probably dive.
not where he wants to land himself.
Rhapsody with a statement lap.
30.792 for the Brazilian provisional pole. As you said, a statement extending his lead over now. Wadapatowski in second position. We talk about Becky B, 32.8. This is his home circuit. Rhapsody.
Yeah.
With a major track extension. Not clear on what that was.
I think he was just on his way back to the pit, so he's trying to get out of the way through the S's.
Sidewinder on the move.
Oh, what happened to Johnny Disco's lap? He invalidated? Oh, he's on the lap right now. Coming down
Sidewinder
the
right
back
now,
straight.
looking in with the Red Bull. He is getting one heck of a tow off of Mr. Cody Lawrence, who's here in reserve
The
tonight.
teamwork. The perfect toe. Cody Lawrence getting out of the way for Disco after. Disco abandoning his lap. So it's gonna come down. It's basically a one-shot quality for Johnny Disco's drift. He only has one more chance to set a good lap.
Sidewinder in the Red Bull now, coming through to push a time on the board. Good for 6, 31.586. Currently, things looking tight from first down to 10th within 1 second.
A lot of the drivers in the pits preparing for their final runs, looking at the data, see where they were losing time. Definitely want to get it out soon if you want to set a valid lap.
Victor Diaz running it over the line now to begin a lap in the Alpine, looking to improve on a 32.359 coming out of turn 1 on the softs. One thing notable, Gabizim is on the move. He's the only driver left remaining with a time still set on the medium compound tires, so he'll be looking to do a major improvement on the much quicker softs.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see a lot of people in these 132s. I think the field will be in the 131s. Victor Diaz also on a lap, who we're riding with right now, coming down the back straight. And he's in the prime overtaking zone where we'll see plenty of action later.
Yeah, DRS into turn 12.
Probably one of the best overtaking spots in all of F1.
It's certainly the best for this circuit.
All the drivers coming out of the pits on out laps. See where Victor Diaz puts his car. P11, we'll take that. He might fall down a few places.
That can definitely be a solid place to find yourself. Gabizim has begun a lap, as has his counterpart, Martin Sanchez. However, it's going to be an early abort on that, considering he has already invalidated that run. Graz and Sales both on the move.
It's very easy to validate in the first sector.
Sidewinder calling it in the pit lane. He's done. A lot of...
I think Rhapsody is the first. Let's go on board with him. He's going to be on a flyer right now. The first car on a flying lap.
There's a few on a flyer right now. We have Sales, Graz. We have quite a few people on flyers, but...
Oh, my mistake. But this is going to be the fastest flyer.
Sales has actually invalidated his run. Gabizim, Martin Sanchez, no improvements. Gabizim, 8th position for the McLaren, 31.658. Here comes Graz looking to improve that 4.81 on the 31. He shaves a bit, but not enough to jump a position.
No, not enough.
Potapatowski coming through. I think he just fired it up.
He made it just past the line in time. Rhapsody coming through the final sector now with the Brazilian colors for the helmet. He's flying through those corners. Through 220.
30.6. Very fast run.
Meaty. 131.2. Very strong lap from him.
Absolutely. He beats out the Haas. Wadapatowski, who's still potentially looking to improve. However, he does have that gas light on. We're going to go with Becky B now, who is going to be trying to get himself, really, at the very least, Gauzy, he wants to be in that top 5.
Yeah, he needs to be fighting with the Mercedes cars, but that's not what you can do. We saw Ace really struggle today in Tier 1 with traffic. Being in the back of this grid is not where you want to be. Oh, and he's P15.
He's really struggling right now, and I don't know.
Barely any improvement for the defending champ.
Yeah, he's not going to be overly impressed with himself.
Oh, we have a Mercedes front row lockout striff.
Wow.
This is familiar. It reminds me of real life.
Rhapsody and Maxim B. It's Rhapsody that leads the pair. A 130.648 for the Mercedes squad. And Meaty getting in with a 131.200 for Alpine. Round out the top 3 here in the qualifying. Big honorable mention to Wadapatowski coming in here on debut with a P4 showing, and Mikau rounds out the top 5.
We have to see if maybe the starting from the back of the grid might work out depending on when the C tier comes out. It could work in Johnny Disco and Becky B's favor and against the Mercedes drivers. This is definitely, we're going to have to see how it plays out.
There you have it. Qualifying classification here for the United States Grand Prix round 5 of season 6 here for the Americas Tier 1 division. It is the Misfits Racing League. My name is Stryfium. Joining me is Gauzy, and happy to say the pair of us hail from Canada. That's the first time I've been able to say that both of us hail from Canada.
Look at this drift. We have a Canadian starting P2 ahead of all the Americans.
Maybe we'll just be super biased this broadcast and root for Maxim B. I do believe he is our resident Canadian on the grid today. But of course, it is the Brazilian that is on pole position, Rhapsody, rounding out, of course, that top spot with Maxim B, his teammate, in second. And then we have Meaty in third. Going to be an interesting, very interesting race start.
That's very good qualifying from Meaty and Wada, showing their pace as reserves.
There's a prediction now in the chat if you're interested in playing a little, as we have a prediction for whether or not the pole sitter, Mr. Rhapsody, will take the race win. You can predict now, yes or no, and that's always fun to get interactive and engaged there. Of course, if you're new to the stream, thank you for joining us.
After that qualifying, how could anyone predict no? With the pace he showed in qualifying.
He was looking absolutely rapid. However, these races are not 1 lap, but 28 here around the circuit of the Americas in
Anything
Texas.
can happen.
That's it. Anything can happen. Taking you through the grid, let's take a look at the drivers. Let's take a look at the tires. It's Rhapsody on pole position. His teammate, front row lockout for Mercedes, Maxim B, the Canadian, in second position. Meaty in third for Alpine. Wadapatowski here on debut in fourth for Haas. And it's Mikau, the Australian, in fifth for AlphaTauri. We have Graz, sixth for the Scuderia Ferrari. Dago in seventh for Alfa Romeo. And behind him, it's Gabix G in the AlphaTauri. It's a battle of the Alphas as Sidewinder looks on behind them in the Red Bull, ninth position. And Gabizin will round out the top 10 in the McLaren. Notably, all top 10 racers starting on the soft compound tires. Of course, that is what they qualified on. That is what they must start on. Back 10. Go ahead, Ghazi.
There's mostly medium tires in the back, as that is the preferred tire when you start in the back 10. But there are a couple soft tire takers joining the front row strategy. Victor Diaz on softs and Guac on softs, matching his teammate. I don't think it's the best decision. You pretty much want to be on alternate strategies with your teammate. And both Alfa Romeo started on soft tires.
Could be a potential double stack should there be a safety car. Could be a problematic scenario for them. You definitely want to try to switch things up. However, they have a little bit of separation. See how things pan out as Rhapsody brings us through the final turn to take his grid position. Cody Lawrence starts from the back. We know him to do so. And he'll be starting behind his friend, Mr. Jamie Lawrence. Friend, not relative. They are not related. And I know, as much as one might think they are not.
I'm excited for the start drift. Their cars are lined up with the grid now, getting ready.
Let's take a look and see how things go. Rhapsody, Max and B, the front row. It's the lockout for the Mercedes crew. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Austin, Texas. It was a fast one. The lights are out. Things are looking good for Max and B. He has that inside line coming into turn 1. Rhapsody on the outside. It is the Alpine of Meaty with early contact both on his outside and oh my
Meaty's out of this
God
phase from P3.
That was unbelievably quick. That was a very fast retirement here in this race. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we said anything can happen. Meaty, the third position starter here around the United States, is out of this race. There was a yellow in the sector. However, no VSC or full safety car as a result. There's been some major drops already as Mikau has dropped 6 positions here early on. No visible damage on the front wing, but definitely some avoiding action required in the front end of the grid. And the Haas, Wadapatowski, is working with Mr. Dago.
Dago up a couple positions from P7. He makes it past the Haas. They're fighting really tight.
Mikau and Becky B getting
Wada
loose.
is all over the back of that Alpha. Oh, a massive walk up from the Williams. We saw a massive cloud of smoke.
Fails. Cody Lawrence wheel to wheel right now. Cody Lawrence is around the outside right now looking for a move on the Ferrari. Does he have his hooks in on the inside as we come into the left-hander? Yes, he does, and that was a beautiful move.
There, but still gets it done.
Wadapatowski and Dago. They have themselves a serious battle for this third position, and they can't battle too long because DRS is going to come online shortly. Rhapsody and Max and B in a very powerful position right now. 1.7 seconds and growing to the Haas driver.
The Haas and Alpha need to stay within that DRS because the Mercedes drivers are just going to say see ya as soon as that DRS is enabled.
Quite a few drivers looking for positions right now. Things extremely tight, especially with the train on the rear of Gabix G, as you have Jacob, Johnny Disco, and Mikau all pushing to get themselves hitched to Sidewinder. And it's critical that Gabix G try to push himself to stay with Sidewinder, or he is going to get absolutely swallowed up here as Mikau looks for the inside on Johnny Disco. He's got a line through. And I think he has that move done. Becky B drops to Guac. Slight tap coming out of Becky B. Front left wing into the back right of Guac. Becky B will push through into 12th and catch up with his teammate as Mikau and Jacob are in a bit of a tussle. Jacob defending on the inside right now. Gabix G, the other Alpha Tauri, is in front of Mikau and Jacob right here and could provide some assistance. But this Alpha Tauri in 8th position, Mr. Gabix, nearly 2 seconds off the train ahead of him. Jacob
This is
slipping
great for
on the curb.
Mercedes.
Mikau, tons of grip on the softs. He's inching ahead of the Aston Martin now into turn 1, and it looks like he's going to get that move done. Jacob, a little bit more ability
Jacob's
to
not
go around
giving
the
this up.
outside.
And they're going flying through the S's now. Getting ready to go on that back straight to try again.
Serious fight right now in the rear end of points paying
Sidewinder gap
positions.
zone. Sidewinder very close on the McLaren.
Tony
Ready to go for
Disco
it.
looking for a move on the inside of Jacob here. Coming into the hairpin turn 11. He's looking for that super tight inside run through. Jacob defending outside. A little bit.
Sidewinder going down the inside.
Wheel
Jacob and
action all
Mikau
over
fighting
this circuit.
five. Yes, lots of overtaking in action on
Becky
this
B
straight.
so tight to his teammate
Oh
there.
my gosh. And the Aston Martin getting pushed out of the way of the racing line. This is like in NASCAR when they try to rejoin the racing train. The Williams are struggling, Striff.
I agree with you. Max and beat 35.654.
Although the Mercedes are having no issues up front. We're absolutely letting Maxime lead the way for now.
Yeah, they're really holding things tight up at that front end. Funny Disco, Becky B, exchange. Gabix G under major threat now. Victor Diaz and Jacob. Man, these guys are not giving up.
These guys, yeah. And some other cars are joining the fight, like Gabox, who's just joined the fight. Guac is coming.
Well, he's
to join the
dropping.
party.
He's dropping Gabix now. He's definitely feeling the pressure. Becky B now has to hunt down Mikau 2 seconds, but he'll
Guac
have
going for
different
it.
tires. Oh man.
And he gets the move done before, so he can chase after those Williams cars.
Cody Lawrence, Victor Diaz. Mediums versus softs right now. Cody Lawrence with the DRS as well. Gabazin, Mikau. They're wheel to wheel. Gabazin looking to hold on to 7th position. And this fight right now is very critical for Becky B because it can allow him to really catch himself back up to a bit of a train.
He's got to fight through a lot of traffic to get to where those Mercedes cars are.
Jumping
Like
into lap
Mikau.
5.
Mikau, hopefully they can follow Mikau up. Gabizum under pressure. Going up the hill. Mikau's gonna go for it. And he gets the move done easily. Going after the Red Bull next of Sidewinder.
The AlphaTauri with a
Behind
few
them.
mountains to move right now in these gaps. 1.5 to Sidewinder. And then following
The
that,
other
it'll be a larger
AlphaTauri.
gap to Graz.
The other AlphaTauri Gabox is falling even further behind, now fighting with Victor Diaz for P14. This move also might get done before the turn 11. There's a massive... He's getting out of the way. He might have an issue. Yellow flags. We lost the Ferrari. Sales is fun. And that's not what you want to see, Striff. I know that's your team.
Well, I guess technically I have to cheer for Red Bull as I race for Red Bull in the Americas, but
Yeah, but in real life, that's your
that
team.
is true. That is true. Well, I will concede that. But I will say is he does have wing damage sales now, which is unfortunate.
Yep, but his teammates still looking very strong. P5.
Graz in a very good championship position as well to take a serious run. However, the gap
Yeah.
right now to Mercedes
He's
is
just climbing.
It is, and it can be undone with a safety car. And given what we've seen, the amount of battling, I don't think that is the most impossible scenario.
We saw in AM Tier 2 that safety cars come out rarely here, even when cars DNF. So it's basically a throw of the dice whether the safety car will come out or not.
Mateo pushing Galax G right now. Jacob looking to get it done as well. Does he get it done? Do both Aston Martins mug off and Alpha Tauri? It is an exit wheel to wheel for Jacob.
Gavok's having a very poor race.
Jacob gets it through.
Gavok's driving a bit like I drive, going backwards the whole time.
Well,
That's a bit harsh, actually.
I suppose. Harsh for who? You or him?
Him.
I agree. For you, no.
Oh, Becky B sending it on the. They said enough of this McLaren.
Rhapsody and Max and B have exchanged.
Now I think the gap's gonna grow even more. Will Rhapsody try to break the DRS, or will he just let his teammates stay with him? Dago picks up the first penalty of the race, 3 seconds for cutting the track. Oh, big lockup from the Haas. Coming into the first corner. Dago almost went to the back of them. Behind them, Graz following.
He's really looking to pick up. Yeah, he's really looking to pick up a mistake from these guys right now, and it's possible.
Phoenix with 3 seconds. And they're going full speed down the back straight now.
Johnny Disco pushes by the McLaren of Gabbyism.
Cody Lawrence is going to follow him through, I think. And then slot in behind the Williams.
Patowski right now, defending Dago. Dago looking for an outside line.
Dago's trying it through this corner. Would have been impressive if he was able to make it work.
It's a tough section of circuit, no doubt.
You can see those 2 Mercedes cars up ahead. They must really want to catch that. They must be sitting there wanting to catch those 2 Mercedes.
Mikal pushing into, 6th. Apologies for the screen pausing there.
This will be good. Graz, Dago, Wada. Graz just watching this action. Dago sliding his Alpha as close as he can to the Haas, wanting to get as best an exit he can onto the straight so he can make a move. Sales goes fastest after pitting, I think.
Max and B and Rhapsody exchange.
Dago going for it on Wada. Gets the move done easily. Now he can go after those Mercedes and off in the distance.
It's going to be tough for any of these racers
Oh,
to get anything done.
Dago almost lost it. Yeah, it took really corrective steering.
Yeah, it was a
But
big
Strip,
snap.
it must be annoying, like watching those 2 Mercedes just like driving together just in front of you.
Well, it's still early. Lap 8 out of 28, soon to be lap 9.
Williams leading the medium runners right now.
Yeah, they're showing a good pace on the medium compound tires.
Gales with another penalty. The race is not going well for him.
Dago with a big problem.
Dago.
That's not what you want to see when you are in a very good position. Penalty or no
Hopefully another
penalty,
way.
you are now going to watch the entirety of this grid. We're very
Oh,
close
he
to the
falls all the way
entirety.
back to P12, P13. From P3, loses 10 positions in one corner. And Victor Diaz pushing on him.
Yeah, this is a huge defense coming out of Dago right now. This is going to give Jacob a window through. He's going to get 2-1 here. Dago says, no way, Victor. And Jacob says, you guys are playing at the wrong time and the wrong place.
Yeah, Victor had nowhere to go with the Alpha in front and the car on his left side. He just had to sit and wait. And Dago takes a 3-second.
Dago not thrilled right now. Jacob
He's
applying
down.
further pressure. On the inside right now, the Aston Martin. He's on the medium compound tires, which are going to be showing better grip right now. Tight
Yeah,
on
he
the
might come
inside
in.
for Dago.
Dago
He's
with
tapped him on the inside. That's a big shunt coming out of the Alfa Romeo.
It looks like Victor got by without getting incident though, thankfully. Dago should box this lap, change to those medium tires. And the gap, Macau is in P3 now. 5 seconds behind the Mercedes cars. Becky B and Johnny stormed up. Becky B and Johnny in a really good position. So right now we have the two Mercedes cars. Then we have Macau kind of by himself. And then 5 seconds behind him we have both Williams drivers driving together. Followed by the very quick Cody Lawrence.
There's an
Then we have
issue.
Guac and Gabuza.
Against Momoteo with a bit of a spin coming out of turn 11.
Yellow flags. Tails again. Rhapsody just boxed. Macau following him in. And that puts Maxime leading with Becky B and Johnny Disco following.
X and B pushing a little bit of a longer stint here. Guac as well.
We'll see when the safety car comes out if it's going to ruin these strategies.
No. So far, no safety car in this race. Knockwood. Lap 11 out of 28. Here on the Circuit of the Americas.
The medium tire runners do not want it to come out because they are not going to be able to make it to the end on soft tires from here. It would be an easy win for Mercedes if it comes out before lap 16. Tails is out of this race in the pit lane.
That's unfortunate to see. Fails.
Difficult campaign for him.
Yeah, definitely.
See if Maxime's gonna box this lap. I think he's gonna come in for sure. Yep, he peels into the pit lane. That puts the Williams in P1 and P2 right now. Followed by their engineer, Cody Lawrence. The official Williams engineer. But with Cody driving, I think they're being engineered by some. I saw in the chat. So Ace is helping him out. Hopefully the safety car doesn't do them like it did Ace earlier in Tier 1.
Macau very
Mikowski.
tight to Jamie Lawrence on the older mediums.
Wada right behind Phoenix on the fresh mediums. Should be an easy move on the straight. Oh, before the corner. Macau going for it. And ahead, Wada gets past Bomateo. Massive lockup from the Aston Martin. Macau is pushing hard behind. You might see Macau appear behind this McLaren. He's going very quick right now. With the DRS open. No battery being used though. Gonna stay behind for now.
Macau.
Macau's in the wall. Macau's out of this race.
That is not what you want to be seeing in this race.
Oh my god, that was shocking.
That's huge, and that's very, very close to the same area of the circuit where we saw Meaty retire the car early in the race. This will be now the second major crash retirement. No safety car deployed.
He got a bit like held up a bit by the McLaren, and it threw him off. And the wall comes at you quick, Striff. You definitely know, because you saw that same wall in your race.
That's unfortunate.
And no safety car, thankfully, for the Williams boys. I was a bit nervous that the safety car was going to come out there. That was a big crash. Sidewinder going side by side with Bama. And Bama backs out of it sensibly.
Maxim and Jacob. Maxim into 5th position.
Yeah, their Mercedes is looking really good today.
They have their strategy locked down, their pace locked down. They need to keep things consistent through to the end.
The dominant team. Jamie Lawrence with 3 seconds.
Becky B and Johnny.
Yeah, the Williams drivers swapping places. It's going to be hard for him to defend his championship this season, Strip. There's a lot of competition for him. His teammate Disco, the Mercedes drivers, Cody Lawrence in reserve. This might be the toughest season Becky's had in MRL so far. In the American
I agree. I agree with you. I think he had a very serious battle with Lucas Yan last season, excuse me. And I know that pushed him into some serious practice. I think that this season he may have to get into that mindset again. I don't know what kind of availability he has, of course, to do that, considering that does take a good chunk out of you.
Yellow flags. Phoenix is out
penalty.
and collision with the McLaren. We didn't see what happened.
No visible damage on the McLaren, however.
Sometimes the stewards are able to remove 5-second penalties, so we'll have to see after the race how that plays out. And the Mercedes drivers, they're far from each other now. not working in the as close as they were before the pit stops. Wada using a bit of battery and DRS. Let's see if we can get past Jacob. A lot of speed. He's gonna go for it. Jacob's gonna defend into the turn 12.
Yeah, this is what Potowski does not need, because Graz is not super far away.
Yeah, Graz is just waiting for these guys. He gained 1 second, Graz, when they were during that fighting. Sidewinder also right behind Graz. Williams cars are gonna have to box in the next few laps. The window is open between laps 16 and 18.
Johnny
They might
Disco
hold
with a
out.
bit of a snap coming up over the hill, and he does that too many times. It could present a warning penalty
tires are-
situation.
Tires are very old right now, Sturf, so he might be struggling a bit with them. I wonder if they're gonna hold out till lap 18 or maybe go for lap 17. We'll have to see if they box. When they box. And where they come out.
Well, right now they're doing exactly what we saw Rhapsody and Maxim B doing earlier. They're really kind of giving themselves an edge with the DRS. You got Cody Lawrence 3 seconds behind them.
Yeah,
Rhapsody
and the
is
Mercedes
catching.
right behind them
Rhapsody's
too.
catching, yeah. But
The soft tires are going to be a massive advantage, so maybe Williams will be able to catch them again. We saw it in
I
Tier
think
1
that's.
today how
I still think it's a tall order, because I think that Mercedes did have a good gap coming through.
Yeah, I agree with the tall order, and they had like a 5-second gap, but the soft tires are very quick around this track when they're fresh. So they probably want to hold out as long as they can before boxing, so they get the most use out of the softs.
There goes Graz looking at Jacob around the outside for the Ferrari.
Jacob going super defensive.
Older tires for Jacob.
Graz makes the move done anyway. That's a very nice move from the Ferrari driver.
Bach gets one over on Jamie Lawrence. Also running on his starting compound. Gabizim is looking for a position as well.
Yep. Oh, that was quick. Oh, he gets a bit loose. Out on the grass.
Rhapsody and
Williams
Cody
driver.
Lawrence are about to engage in battle here.
I hope we see a strong defense from Cody Lawrence. A Perez style defense. He's in Perez's car.
Well, we are coming through a section of circuit where Cody Lawrence really needs to maximize his exits, keep himself at a defending range. Johnny Disco is the first of the Williams to pit.
You can
Here
just
we
see
go.
the massive difference in the Mercedes. Through the corners, he has so much more speed than oh, he's gonna go for it. Nothing Cody can do about that.
DRS in that situation gives Rhapsody everything he needs to execute a move. Had that not occurred into turn 1, he would have more than likely been sitting behind the Red Bull all the way through until turn 12.
Johnny Disco came out of the pits in not a bad position, P8. With those soft tires, he can only go up from here. His teammate should be in on this lap. Maxime coming after Cody Lawrence now. It's like real life, the Mercedes and Red Bull fighting. They go really quick. He's probably gonna try something on Victor Diaz. Yep, he's got a lot of speed in the Alfa Romeo. Whoops by the Alpine. Gets the move done before the braking zone.
Clean. Sidewinder holding with Graz right now. Becky B finally into the pit lane. Here.
Cody Lawrence staying out.
This will now bring Cody Lawrence to be the longest running driver on the tire.
Cody is known to be very good with his tires. Manages them well. So he might have more like length in them than other people. Becky B coming up behind his teammate in P8.
One thing that's notable to note. I love that.
I think that's notable to note.
Cody Lawrence managed to get DRS down into turn 12 here just to carefully hold well the Rhapsody. You can see he's extremely starved on his battery.
I think it's going to be, we're going to look at the same situation that we had at the beginning of the race soon, with Rhapsody and Maxime and DRS together. Followed by the reserve WADA.
Unless Cody manages to hold up Maxim in some capacity to the point where Maxim can't necessarily hook up with Rhapsody.
Block and Gabazon fighting. The McLaren
Comes
sending
in,
it.
Cody.
Oh my god,
Ooh.
the McLaren, they make contact. Not really a corner you can overtake at, but the McLaren went for it anyway. So, oh, Johnny Disco takes 3 seconds.
Cody Lawrence
That is definitely going to hurt him.
into the pit lane. Fastest lap coming up for Johnny.
He's got
33.454. Gabazon and Guac around the inside for Gabazon. There's traffic. That's Cody Lawrence in turn 1 right now. Dago swoops over into the inside.
Oh, they're side by side. Gabazon's getting a lot of paint on the side of his car. And the 2 Alfa Romeos exchange positions. Looks like there was a bit of a team order going on there, sir.
Here goes Johnny Disco. Super fresh softs. Trying to push through. Sidewinder 4th and 5th now exchange as Sidewinder gets Graz. Look at this. Look at this. Johnny Disco finding grip, but he cannot find a line around the outside of Graz.
He's got to be patient. He's already got a 3-second penalty.
Inside now for the Williams. He takes a lunge through on the Ferrari, and he gets it done. Clean move for Johnny Disco there.
Yep, that was a very nice move. Sidewinder's next ahead of him. He's got to take advantage of the massive advantage that the soft tires have right now. A huge exit from the Williams. And he's pushing, now he got Haas up next.
Notable position changes are on the screen. And it's Cody Lawrence who's made up 12 positions. Becky B has made up
Johnny
9.
Disco.
And Johnny Disco has made up 8.
And Gabox has lost 7, unfortunately.
He most definitely struggled there when he dropped through the grid. Becky B and Graz now have exchanged.
I don't think Cody should have stayed out as long. You see how far back he is from the Johnny Disco and Becky. 7-second gap now. Funny Disco right behind Wada.
I could be right behind Sidewinder right now through a very tricky section. You can lose grip, you can slide off, you can really find yourself in a wall, but I could be hanging on with Sidewinder here. Look at this, slipping through on the inside as his teammate now has already caught up with Wada Potowski. Coming into turn 1 now, we're going to see another overtake from a different
Yeah,
Williams. Around
both
the
Williams on
outside.
the same straight overtaking. If you see a Williams fan in the audience, you probably appreciate that.
Oh my, that was a very neat
Synchronized
sequence.
overtaking. And
Absolutely.
Guang's up 2
Big jump
seconds.
off the curb now for Wada Potowski through the S's. This is going to give Becky B a big leg up in catching up with the Haas.
Striff, do you think we're gonna see a Mercedes Williams?
That penalty with Johnny really makes me think possibly not.
Yeah, it's probably gonna ruin it. Wada's
He
gonna shove his
really
hat
started
back.
on battery right now. Looking for an inside line through on the Haas. He's holding it tight. Very tight to keep Wada Potowski as far outside as he possibly can. He comes back through on the inside,
Just
gets
Mr.
that
Wada,
apex.
I'm going past you. Nothing you can do about it. He gave him just the minimum amount of track left.
There you go. And Jacob in an exchange right now. Jacob is on the fresh rubber.
Jacob has been in fights this whole race
It has been a very busy race.
for Jacob.
I'd say for a good chunk of this racing grid as Becky B now takes the fastest lap, 33.276. Absolutely critical for him in the Williams to secure that potential additional point in his
that'll be huge for
championship
him.
fight.
But Rhapsody's gonna get an additional 7 points from winning the race, it looks like. Unless the Williams can do something about it.
Ooh, a big snap coming out of Dago in defense of Jacob, and he will lose a touch of time there and potentially drop into Gabism and the partnering Alfa Romeo of Guac.
Becky B right behind his teammate. He probably wants to get past his teammate. Think we'll see team orders. Yep, Johnny letting the sister car by. When he gets a
Yeah.
little loose on the exit. Becky B does. You see the wiggle there?
They're showing stellar pace on the soft compound tires right now. 4.1 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, is the gap to the Mercedes
I'm excited
duo.
to see Becky. This is the time to push. They need to catch hammer time, Striff.
It's going to be all or nothing now over the next few laps for these Williams racers.
I think Becky can do it.
Graz, Sidewinder. Within half a second, you have Dago looking at Jacob as well as Guac and Victor Diaz in a train on the rear of Gabism as this fight for potential podiums wages on. 3.5 seconds to Maxim B, ladies and gentlemen, inside of a sector. If you're a Mercedes fan, I would be nervous.
Definitely. But if you're a Williams fan, I would be excited. And a Ferrari fan too. Graz pushing very close. Let's see if he's gonna get past the Red Bull here. We saw Ferrari in the podium earlier today. I don't know. It's going to be tough for the Williams. Even if he catches Maxime's drift, it's going to be tough to overtake. Maxime's going to put up a fierce fight.
Well, there are sections of this circuit that make defending fairly useless. Of course, Sidewinder in the Red Bull has had a big snap coming out of turn 18.
Yeah, but he keeps it out of the wall, thankfully.
Well, no, but
That's not what you want to see from your team when he was in such a good position. He's going into the pits.
yeah, he needs a wing
He
change.
might be able to steal that fastest lap from Becky B. Gabby's also boxing. Oh no, never mind.
2.7 seconds for Becky B in his hunt for Maxim B. And he's bringing Johnny with him.
The American coming after the Canadian.
Here we go. Johnny and Becky with an exchange of positions here. This is tricky now. You do not want to be doing this too much if it slows you down. So you got to mind that delta when these switches happen. You got to take a look at what that delta is to Maxim B when that exchange
Becky
takes
B
place.
looking like he's been held up a bit. If I was Johnny, I would not exchange like that. Well, he has the 3 seconds he has to get out of the penalty window because he's already out of Wada's penalty window. He should probably just stay behind Becky.
Well, he can always force an error should he get close enough to Maxim B. It's a very interesting scenario. However, the gap is 2.2 seconds.
If only the Williams did better in qualifying, they could have probably put a closer fight to the Mercedes cars.
Well, there was a good chunk of this race where they were in a prime position to inherit a good strategy from a safety car, but the safety car did not show itself through this entire campaign, and it will not, as we are already on lap 26 of 28, ladies and gentlemen. The race is coming to its final.
Oh, Jeffrey just came in the chat saying Becky is low fuel. Is he going to make it to the end of this race with fuel, Jeffrey?
Low fuel or not, pace differential or not, they are slowly breaking it down to Maxim B.
Richie says he's not going to make it. It all comes down to disco then. We're going to see some very sad Williams fans after this race, I think, Struff.
One heck of a drive from these guys, that's for sure.
And then we saw it happen to Wisp when he ran out of fuel on the final lap.
.8 seconds. We are on the penultimate lap of the race. Rhapsody, the Brazilian, leading things right now, 1.16 ahead of Maxim B. Also on a one lap older set of rubber. Maxim B, second position. Johnny Disco, third. Becky in fourth. Cody Lawrence up 15 positions into fifth. And man, he has been pushing. Sidewinder.
Taking the.
Yeah, that's not good for Williams fans.
I wonder if Maxime's going to try to go for it on Rhapsody. Too far back, probably. Maxime, who's never won a race in a row.
Well, Mateo.
A disappointing campaign for him. Okay, Victor Diaz fighting for the final points position. He's got it already. He's in the penalty window of Guac.
All right.
The
I
final
think
lap coming up.
that's right, and I think it's going to be an absolute showdown up at the front of things. I just want to take a look and see how things unfold with Victor Diaz there, but it doesn't look like anything's really cooking as Johnny Disco, 1.5 seconds on the rear. Maxim B has Becky B, I think, primed and ready to go to try and do everything he can, but you can see that red fuel
No,
light.
Yeah, Becky's gonna run out of fuel. Well, Cody
And they
might be able to
might
get him.
both run out of fuel. They're both on red.
The Williams, Cody needs to. And do you think, because Cody's the Williams engineer, he didn't put enough fuel in the cars because he's behind them? This is his master plan.
I don't know.
Becky going for it on Johnny.
I think it was a safety car gamble.
Yeah, I was just joking.
Wadapatowski and Graz, wheel to wheel coming out of turn 12 right now. Graz, 6th position right now. Rhapsody coming through the final few turns. Ladies and gentlemen, the Brazilian racer in the Mercedes, fuel light on, will come to cross and take victory here in the circuit of the Americas, the United States Grand Prix here for America's Tier 1. His teammate, Maxim B, the Canadian, will take second. Becky B in third, up 13 positions to take that podium. What a drive. Johnny Disco, his teammate, fourth, up 8. Cody Lawrence, 5th position. He made 15 gains in this race. Graz holding station in 6th where he began. Wadapatowski drops 3. Jacob up 3. Dago drops 2. Dago. Sidewinder, excuse me, as the penalties shuffle
Marco
the racers.
Sanchez.
Sidewinder coming in there, final points position for the Red Bull. What a race.
Both Red Bulls in the. Gabizem just takes fastest lap at the end. And we're just waiting for Gabox to cross the line now, and that will complete this race. Exciting race draw.
It really was. We saw a ton of battling, as we mentioned in the qualifying we were going to see. Saw a ton of overtaking into turn 12. And I thoroughly enjoyed this round, and it was another great round of the championship and the rivalry that is continuing between the Williams and the Mercedes squad.
Mercedes on top today, but Williams going to go back to the drawing board and figure out where everything went wrong today. And I think they'll be back stronger in Monaco. Monaco is Becky's definitely strong at Monaco.
It is as you predicted, though. It is going to be a Mercedes 1-2 with a Williams 3-4. So, major points in it for both teams.
Depends and look at all the USA flags and the points. All Americans except for Maxime and Rhapsody finishing the points today.
Solid races for everybody. And it's, as you mentioned, the fastest lap going to Gabizem at the end, 32.698.
I think that's
That is going to wrap up, ladies and gentlemen, the coverage of the Americas Tier 1 division this evening. I hope everybody enjoyed it. We will be back next week with a serious campaign around the streets of Monte Carlo. We are going to Monaco for round number 6. And
that's a race I want to be back in the booth with you first.
We will be back in a week's time here on Wednesday.
Good night, everyone.
And wish you all well. Of course, join us for when Monaco begins Tier 3 racing this coming Monday for the European. Ciao for now, and we will see you all, of course, next week in the next one.